Welcome to the very first episode of In Their Shoes. Hi, this is Shay, and welcome to Reflections with Shay. Being a parent is tough, but being a single mom is one of the most challenging yet rewarding roles in life. Over the years, as single moms, we've learned a lot. We've learned so much about ourselves, our children, and the choices we've made along the way. For the very first episode of this series, I have the very beautiful single mom, Maya, from Maya Life in the Philippines. Today, she'll be sharing insights on the topic, what I would do differently as a single mom. All right, Maya, so if you were given the opportunity to change your whole parenthood, what would you do differently as a single mom?
If I could change one thing, I will not spoil my child. Growing up with my parents, I don't think it's that bad how they raised me because I've learned a lot with the parenting style that they did to me. And growing up, I used to say, if I'm gonna have a kid, a child, I'm not gonna raise my kid the way my parents raised me because it's really a hard childhood. But as I am becoming a mom, becoming a parent, I wish I have been more tough as a parent because even though my parents are very strict, very tough towards us, I've learned a lot of lessons. I am more resilient and I am more stronger, and I thank my parents for that because they have been tough. Like for example, growing up, we are very we're not allowed to play outside without finishing our chores, without doing our chores like doing our laundry or cleaning ourselves. And because of this, I have the discipline now that I've learned from my parents that I have to take care of my chores or myself or anything that I have to do before I can do anything. I have that discipline. And now, because I raised my daughter differently, I think I made a mistake of doing that because for her to be, it's hard for me to discipline her, especially that I started spoiling her at a very young age. And she don't have she's still young, and I'm trying to undo that, the way I spoil her. But right now, it's hard for me to make her do something without her crying because she's not used of me telling her what to do or shouting at her or making her do something. And the other thing I would change is if I could do parenthood again, I would not have my child if I had a chance without having a stable income and without the proper marriage. I would have choose differently for myself. I would find the right person, marry the right person, and really know that this person is for me before having children, before having a child. That's the number one, actually. Number one that I would change in my life. I would choose first the right person for me and have the kids later on.
So talking about, being with the right person, is there such a timeline to actually get to know for you to say that this is the right person? Or how can actually,
Yeah.
how can you tell actually that this is the right person for me?
Well, for me, the right person for me is someone that is ready to be in a committed relationship. Someone that has stable income, has this mindset of building a family and growing a family with you. Because I had my baby when I was 24. No, yes, I was 24, and my partner that time, he was also 2 years older than me. He was just 2 years older than me, so he's pretty young, and I'm pretty young. So, and we don't have the we don't have that mindset to build a family yet. It's not in our mind, but it happened that we had a kid, so we have to do this without being prepared, without being sure that we are for each other. So yeah, someone that is ready to have family with you, emotionally, mentally, and financially ready to create a family.
Other than those you've already mentioned about the things that you would do differently, you've mentioned two of them. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to those?
I will be more present in my daughter's life. Because every time I'm away, I always have this regret that every time I miss her. And, like, for example, if I'm traveling and I miss her, I always wish I am more present when I was at home with her, because now I don't know what she's thinking. Maybe she hates me because I'm not there, and maybe she will not love me anymore because I'm away and I didn't give much time and effort to be with her, to play with her, or to have a conversation with her. So that is something that I always have regret every time I'm away, work, or I'm traveling. Yeah, so which I always make mistakes because sometimes I forget because I'm very busy with day-to-day life, and the next thing I know, when I am away, I miss her and I regret those things. How often I travel? Well, I have travels coming. This actually, I have one this February, and I guess I travel. Big travels would be like 2 to 3 times a year. That's a big travel, long span of weeks. But every month I would go somewhere. Like on the weekends, I would go somewhere, spend time in one island or a different island. This is a setup in our with my relationship with my daughter. So she spends times with me on the weekdays because she goes to school. I take care of her, we study, and on the weekends, on Friday night, she would be spending time with her dad or her grandma, where her cousins are. So she has time to play with them. So on those days, I would travel or go somewhere, spend my time traveling or working. Sometimes I'm just being hard with myself that I feel like I'm lacking in this area, but um, Nora is very sweet and very down to earth, and I think in that part I get credit raising her the way she is, and I made sure that she is in contact with her dad and with her grandma because I don't want her to feel alone, especially that she's an only child, and I want her to feel that family dynamic, even though financially the dad is not supporting, and it's not okay, but I really don't mind as long as he gives loves towards Nora and the care. That's what's more important than me than financial support at this point.
I would say that you are actually more present into your daughter's life than I am. So, still, kudos to you. You are a great mom, and thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining
Shay.
us here.